What do you
Alright,
think is
starting
going to
in
be the
5,
best
4,
opener for
3,
each of these
2,
teams?
1, start.
Well, if I'm the Ringers, I'm either doing... It looks like they're actually doing a sort of mixture of what AOD did and the usual thing, but I'm not seeing any rockets from them.
Yeah, they actually AOD put down 2 rockets downrange onto Dead Ringers. AOD all unanimously going into their triple stack. Dead Ringers, though, 2 people didn't go inside, running around. We got somebody on the flank. Let's see what happens here.
That heavy assault on the flank is setting himself up to fail. He got a
Oh,
pick, but he's...
he's
Oh my!
2-0. Tremendous start for Dead Ringers. If they can keep this momentum carrying on for the entirety of the match, this would spell wonders for them. He goes down, however. They are on point, though. They need to be keeping up this pressure. They have a giant vacuum coming in from AOD if they can start
They have roof
putting pressure
control
on
if
them.
they can keep it. The light assault is in AOD's triple.
Not the greatest idea. I mean, he's running a Cyclone Heavy. However, you don't want to be getting into a 1v1 straight on face-to-face. If you're a light assault, that's not going to be good news for you. They get that overshield. They get the extra health. He's not paying attention. Runs straight into the Cyclone.
Yeah, this is not really a strong map for Cyclone Heavies, but if you stay in your triple, or you have other people with you with longer range weapons when you're pushing the triple, it can work.
Speaking of Cyclone Heavy, Chef pushes into South Triple, just kind of running around, not really being contested here. He's given this freedom to overextend, and he might not be making all the perfect moves here, but he's not going to be getting punished for it, and because of that, he's going to be playing a little bit more forward. So if that's what he's thinking right now, that is excellent for AOD. If that's what they're thinking, that Dead Ringers aren't going to always punish them if they're making mistakes, so they can be a little bit more forward, be a bit more aggressive. Light Assault goes for Dead Ringer. Light Assault doesn't get the kill, though. So now we got this interesting setup coming in for AOD4 in their triple stack, but just sending 2 on offense. I'm assuming Huang Kwao is the LA at their triple stack, and he gets taken down. Yep, that is Huang Kwao.
Not really seeing a whole lot to like from the Ringers team in the second half. They're not really doing what they're doing. They need to do, sorry.
They're really focusing on this point so hard, and it's becoming evident because the point isn't a great place to be. You don't want to just sit on point, and that's what I've been seeing consistently, is they'll go and hug in those crevices of the towers, and then after that, you know, once the heavy or LA finds you, all they gotta do is look down at you, and they get that quadruple headshot chain, and then you're done. You know, you can't even retaliate at that point. And they're just not pushing anywhere with this point. I mean, they got a minute, but how are they going to be defending this point if all they got is their triple stack? You don't want to allow AOD to stage any type of maneuver to retake the point here. You want to keep them as far away from the point as possible.
And AOD has their... Oh, they had their bolter on the Ringers roof.
Yeah.
That was kind of dumb, and...
That's adaptive.
Yeah.
Caustic getting him with the Orion, not the Orion, the Cerberus. I think he was LA this match actually then. 10-1's going on the point.
They're actually getting roof control, the Ringers, and they're down on point, unless one of them died.
Dan Ringers trying to go for point here with an LA.
Honestly, point is something you don't want to focus on so much as you get it if you're actually winning.
Yeah, I feel like some of these less experienced teams that haven't competed in these types of events where the scoring system is not typical or relative to what you incur on live or Jaeger pickups, where all it is a pure methodical system, counting your score and counting your kills and your deaths as score. The point does help with your overall score, but the majority of your points come from getting those kills, and that's something a lot of teams don't recognize. They do know not to run medic, because if you do revive someone and they get insta-gibbed, when they take that res, it's not good. However, they always, just focus so hard on getting that point because that's what they're used to do. Is having some type of objective, but then you change their objective from point to just getting that raw score.
And getting the point does help with the score, but something that happened in Farmers was if you got the point and you got the point score, you were already out killing the other team anyways.
Definitely. Scores 236 to 160. 9.5. No, almost 10 minutes left in the match.
This has so far not been as close as I, at the very least, was expecting.
I was expecting a close match too, but I wasn't going to be surprised if there was this type of one-sidedness coming from one of these teams, because we haven't really seen how these players have been preparing, and something that we've talked about is the Dead Ringers team and their miraculous ability to actually make a team on such shorthand notice. However, they probably weren't able to get as much practice. I know they weren't able to scrim before the start of the DurdleDome unless they have their own private type of scrim partner. So it'll be interesting to ask them if they're able to really prepare for this, because AOD, I know, has been preparing for this. They do have their own, they might even run their own in-house scrims with just how large their outfit is.
There are actually a ton of outfits that do in-house scrims. I know during Farmers, pretty much every outfit in Farmers was, most of their practice was in-house. Solex, we had about 12 different people who either weren't regularly playing on the roster or weren't on the roster, but every time we had to practice, they showed up and helped, which is something very, very nice to have that the Ringer team might not be able to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I'm getting some mixed vibes from Dead Ringers here. They're actually going to get the point on this, and you know, at points in the match, they're kind of just running around, just, you know, kind of doing their own thing. But, you know, as I was watching some of these takedowns that they were getting on AOD happening, they're highly coordinated. They would send somebody, get the 1v1 started, they'd have two people go from behind, take the person down, and they were able to do that multiple times in a row within a very short time span, and what might have been able to set them up for points. So now it's 278 to 190, I think, because I don't know.
They're still in it.
Yeah, they're in it, but the
They can
scoring
keep
script
playing
doesn't
like
track
they have
certain things.
within the 30 seconds, last 30 seconds. They can do it, but AOD has pushed them off, and they're coming in piecemeal again.
Maybe a bit of a wake-up call.
Jaeger 8 pickups is okay. Apparently, it's the whole team that wants to go in piecemeal. So yeah, looks like they learned from their mistakes, but now they are kind of repeating them.
Yeah, bit of a wake-up call, I think, for AOD. Saw that point get taken, and they thought to themselves, all right, now we gotta, maybe we've been slipping into a bit of a bad habit here. Now we gotta wake up, start getting back on points, start exerting control the map. If they can get the control of the map they were executing at the beginning of the last round, that would spell wonders for them, and that would definitely carry over well. Dead Ringers are not out of this yet. They need to get back on that point, however, resecure it and have complete map control and not, you know, be getting picked off.
They're going for a real big flank on AOD's triple. They have given AOD roof control in the process, though. Little exchange going off by silos. The VS get that.
Savagery and
control of the
AIMSy
point.
trade.
Yeah, they're in a good spot. They have not necessarily salvaged the match so far, but they've made a great start at doing so.
They're definitely closing that gap. The scoring script I have doesn't track neutral caps, unless Pale Canyon start off as a TR base, in which case it might have. But, so the possible score AOD has would actually be 298 because they got two neutral caps, and Dead Ringers have one full cap, which gave them 25, and their 25 is compounded into the base, I'm pretty sure, or into their score. They do resecure the base. That is good for them. AOD is sending 4 from the Sunder right now. So
And they're actually all running together.
they are. Interesting. Oh, speaking of which, I was just about to talk
Rocket
about
spam.
lack of rocket launchers, but they send them out a little bit too late. if they're
Producer
all
would be
traveling
very
together.
disappointed.
Yeah, if they're all traveling together like that, if they'd gone with those rocket launchers 5 seconds earlier, that could have gotten a
5 minutes
kill or two.
remaining.
Yeah, you kind of want to avoid getting kills with the rockets in this, mostly because they don't give you points. You kill someone with a rocket, that's 2 points you just missed out on if you'd kill them with something else. Usually want splash to either get a little damage on someone before they are engaged with something else, or to deny them that cover when they try to seek it.
Well, sometimes the rocket launcher isn't so much about getting points, but it's just to get that pressure. If you get the numbers advantage, and you know that, and the hard part is knowing you have that numbers advantage, because once you say to yourself, all right, there's 5 of us and 3 of them, you know, if you all go into a disadvantageous push, you're gonna be able to claim some type of great ground for you, and you might lose points because of that push, but if you're able to get a really good spot to hold, then that will in the long term be better for you, like
Yeah,
these triple stacks.
sometimes you just really don't want to have to deal with sand for a couple seconds.
3 heavies rotating, shields out. Oh, but they get flanked by a light assault. Halftime getting 2 kills. Now they need to think to themselves, we have the numbers advantage, what do we do? The third one goes down, Caustic getting in the long range kill. Dangers need to be getting high pressure on AOD. And not really doing much. They get a lot of AOD down and they kind of just sit back and try to pick off some kills. I don't know if this is going to be the greatest thing for them. They're actually falling a little bit back in score now. The score is, the raw score is 296 to 244. However, it might also be 316 to 244. Almost 60-point difference.
What they want. They could have it be really close, and playing passive will probably help them keep it a close match. They could take a really big risk and just try to camp the AOD Sunderer from the roof of AOD's triple, but you run the risk of wiping if you do that, and you wipe one too many times and you're not coming back.
Yeah, there's 2.5 minutes almost left in the match. Dangringers has everything to gain and nothing to lose at this point, and it might now be just a little too late to start trying to take those risks to close that point gap. It's a 50 raw point gap from my script, but as I've said before, there's those neutral caps that don't get compounded in quite properly. Right now we got a
AOD
more even
has
score coming in from
a lot
both
of
teams.
AOD on the roof.
Oh, actually, the scores still spread out very diversely for AOD. 3 high net scores and 3 pretty low net scores. Juan Quao, actually not with the highest net score right now. Swiss has got a tremendous net score of 34. He's 26-9 right now.
Jeez.
That is almost a overall Kadir of 3. Juan Quao, 36-23. High kills, also high deaths. So he's been taking some risk, it looks like, and they haven't quite been paying off for him. Coach Swaggin's in the same boat as Juan Quao, 36 kills, however 24 deaths. Coming in from Dead Ringers, we have the highest net score coming in from Caustic, 30 kills, 25 deaths. Lowest net score coming not from Savagery, surprisingly, despite how prone to tilting we've seen and memed about. It's actually half meme with negative 28, 14 kills, 28 deaths. So interesting spread of score we got. Definitely not a repetition of what we saw last round.
1
Bolter
minute remaining.
getting shot at by Heavy, by the rocket launcher. Didn't get the shot though. .45 seconds left in the match. Scores 315 to 245. I'm curious to see what the teams do in this last bit of time they have for the match. I'm really impressed with Dead Ringer's ability to get that full cap, though. Something we haven't actually been able to see any teams execute in DurdleDome. And in addition to that, they didn't lose the cap. They've lost point, but they've been able to resecure it. So a bit of weird strategy here, because it shows they're able to control a specific part of the map very well. However, they're not really able to exert